We're anchored off a remote island rarely visited by people. Out here in the wild Gulf of Alaska.
Out in the middle of nowhere, there's white sandy beaches and moss-covered forests, limestone caves.
There's so much to explore on this mysterious island.
Crazy stuff in there, so we're really keen to go check it all out.
Last week, we waited out a gale, waiting for the perfect weather window to make it here.
Those conditions just need to be absolutely perfect to be able to stop in and check it out.
A beautiful yet desolate place where even wolves fail to thrive. Once introduced to this island, now there are no more wolves. They basically starved. This island isn't kind to visitors.
It's very gusty, and we're kind of, I guess, now on a lee shore with the wind.
I think we might have overstayed our welcome.
Our stay here is on borrowed time.
So we'll try to just pull the hook out of the ground between gusts and get off as quickly as we can to get back out into deeper water.
It's rare to find a weather window to anchor here. The waters around this island are wild and exposed, open to the full force of the Northern Pacific. This is a place shaped by wind and water, where sheer cliffs and a rugged shoreline guard the edges of a raw and remote wilderness. Anchorage is scarce, limited to a few marginally protected coves along the island's eastern and southern shores. We've found shelter in one of them, known as Egg Harbor.
People describe Egg Harbor as if it's an island in the South Pacific. There's white sandy beaches and moss-covered forests, limestone caves, sea stacks, just like crazy stuff in there. So we're really keen to go check it all out.
The surrounding cold waters teem with life, a thriving ecosystem in the shadow of one of Alaska's most remote and mysterious islands.
It is absolutely nuts to see that many large aquatic marine mammals in one place. Like usually you see, maybe 3 or 4 humpbacks in the same area, but to see like 20 plus, wherever you look, you just see spray after spray after spray. Super, super cool to see it out here. It's such an exposed part of the archipelago. The open Pacific is beyond, and there must be just like a funneling of currents and a collection of fish that kind of just ends up hanging out here on the peninsula. It's quiet, there's very little boat traffic, and it's beautiful. It is so, so beautiful.
Conditions here are often extreme. Strong winds, heavy rain, and the weather can shift in an instant.
It's one of those little islands that's like just out in the middle of nowhere, and there's always wind there, and the conditions just need to be absolutely perfect to be able to stop in and check it out.
Forecast is looking settled enough to remain comfortably anchored for the next 24 hours. And we're excited to explore this wild place that so few ever get to visit. The island does feel like something out of the South Pacific. With its long sandy beaches and dramatic mountains rising straight from the sea, much of the landscape here is shaped by karst terrain, a type of geology that forms when slightly acidic water slowly dissolves soluble rock, like limestone. Over thousands, even millions of years, this natural process has carved out the sea stacks, sinkholes, and intricate limestone caves, shaping its shoreline into something truly otherworldly.
Pretty cool. I guess this limestone that's been eroded away and there's like a little pass through.
I don't see any sign of bats in this cave, so it's not a bat cave. Oh wow. This is like the tropical Pacific Northwest.
Tropical Pacific Northwest sounds like a contradiction, but it's a fitting description. Dense temperate rainforest blankets the island, and constant mist and rain create an almost tropical lushness. Just colder, of course. Birds and marine life thrive here, but it remains unclear what critters roam its shores.
We read that the only animals on this island are deer, goats, and raccoons. So no bears, but we still have our bear spray just in case. They're pretty good swimmers.
Because the island is so remote and difficult to access, it remains largely untouched. An interesting case study on how nature functions without human interference. Interestingly, in the 60s, it became the site of a bold ecological experiment. To study predator-prey dynamics in an isolated island ecosystem, scientists introduced deer and a small population of wolves. Within a few short years, though, the experiment came to a haunting end.
Wolves were once introduced to this island, but legend has it the wolves ate all of the deer, and now there are no more wolves. They basically starved. We did see a little dog print. I think it was a dog, not a wolf. It feels nice to be in an area where there's likely no bears, for a change. Well, there's a deer track.
Today, Coronation Island is uninhabited, unmanaged, and officially designated as wilderness. It stands as a rare glimpse of a world largely untouched, where nature writes its own story.
There's another cave up ahead, and it looks like it goes into the mountain, which is pretty neat.
It's like a double cave system tunneling into the mountain. Keen to check it out.
Carved out over thousands of years, the limestone caves of the island aren't marked on any maps, and few have likely stepped inside.
Hello! Oh! So cool.
Kind of spooky.
Yeah, you spooked out?
You kind of expect to see some like withered skeleton off in the corner.
On the brain of a rhinoceros.
It's a bit freaky. I don't think these go back very far though.
Like little barnacles of growth. This is what the bottom of Uinta looks like. Eating mussels.
Something has been eating mussels?
Something or someone.
Cavemen?
Caveman. It's probably, I know what it is. It's the Sasquatch.
Oh yeah.
Sasquatch has been up here eating mussels.
I'm told that Sasquatch are vegetarian.
Welcome to my lair.
It's really cool. There is like the start of some stalactites or stalagmites. Stalactites, I think, are the ones that hang from the ceiling.
It's a stalactite, hold on tight, and stalagmite might bump you in the ass.
Pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, one day this could be a beautiful limestone cave.
It's sort of grainy too, which is interesting.
It's like a fine aged cheese.
Yeah. Definitely. I make cheese in my lair. I like to relate things to food because I feel like everybody can relate to it, but being in here sort of feels like being on a blue cheese cauliflower. Like the texture of the walls is like cauliflower,
Yeah, no, definitely.
and then the color is just like blue cheese, if we can give you an idea. And it smells very earthy, like soil and decay, but not like gross earthy, like
The warm mushroom.
yeah, mushroomy earthy, like the smell of fall. Very cool. The first time I was in caves was in New Zealand, sailing down there. And this is really cool. New Zealand is awesome because it had the glowworms. We don't have those here, but very, very cool nonetheless. This one is very cavernous. Whoa. Oh, is there a back door?
There's a back door to the cave.
Oh. We found our way out as quickly as we came in. That's neat.
There is no we haven't found a velociraptor skeleton yet, which is a bit of a shame.
Whoa. Wow. Blue cheese cauliflower.
Blue cheese cauliflower. It takes a very long time for the limestone to really form, and you really shouldn't touch it because it disrupts it. But if you came back in 1,000 years, it would be really neat to see how this cave changes over that time, as long as the water level doesn't rise up and fill it. But yeah, who knows how long it's even taken for these little bumps to grow. These could be hundreds of years old. You just don't know, so it's best not to disrupt the formation of limestone in caves.
I think it has something to do with the bacteria, and the bacteria on your hand messes up with the bacteria in the formations.
Yeah, and I guess in that way, limestone formations are kind of similar to coral. They're an organism that's growing in the rock and with the elements. We're gonna have to fact check that because I could be talking shit.
Like coral reefs in the sea, these cave formations are shaped by calcium carbonate, and both owe part of their beauty to microbes. In the dark, damp stillness of these limestone caves, bacteria help guide the slow drip of minerals into stalagmites, sometimes at a slow rate of just 1 centimeter per 100 years, meaning this little point could be thousands of years old. It's nature's quiet architecture, built one tiny drop at a time.
I really love caves. Caves are super neat. They're always geologically fascinating.
Rugged natural beauty, isolation, and rich geology, this island feels truly adventurous. Off the beaten track in the best possible way.
We met up with our friends on SV Petrichor, who we met a couple days ago. We've been sort of buddy boating with them down the coast. They were a little bit ahead of us. We weren't quite sure if we were going to catch up to them, but awesome that they're here, and we're going to go have a fire on the beach. We've got some leftover coho that we caught the other day, and we're thinking we're going to smoke that on the fire. I'm stoked. It's really awesome to have friends out here and to be able to have a fire. So let's go do it.
Over the crackling fire, we hung our wild-caught salmon, smoke cooking the rich protein as heat and time transformed it. Out here, far from the noise of the modern world, this isn't just cooking, it's a way of life. Long before our footprints pressed into the sand, Indigenous people inhabited these shores, Tlingit ancestors who knew this land intimately, fishing and smoking their catch in ways passed down through generations. We felt grateful to get to borrow a fragment of a story much older than our own.
Go well together too. Apart from the tortillas, but you know.
We had an absolute amazing time last night here with SV Petrichor. So nice to share a meal by fire with other boaters. We've been sort of buddy boating with SV Petrichor for the past week or so. Met them up in Pelican and have been sort of hopping down the coast, hitting up the same spots. They're also on a Catalina. It's a bit bigger than ours, it's a 36, but they're really awesome, and we had a glorious time just being pretty primitive, having fires in caves as humankind once did. The salmon was so good. James also did some Arctic char over the fire. We had some grilled corn, Brussels sprouts, salad. Really lovely time with those guys. They have since taken off. They've got some miles to make today, and yeah, I think we've got to do the same. The wind is starting to fill in now, so we should probably get going.
We've been dreaming about creating merch for the channel for a long time, something that really captures the spirit of adventure on this coast. When we shared our ideas with our friend Kate, she immediately jumped on board with her creativity and artistic talent to help bring it all to life. Kate designed a truly quintessential scene inspired by the journey through the Inside Passage. She absolutely nailed it. We're so excited to collaborate with Kate on this. She's not only an amazing artist, but also an accomplished sailor. When she's not skippering her own boat, she's working with the crew aboard pelagic expeditions, which is pretty darn cool. So here it is, the Inside Passage collection. Each piece is made with care, crafted from ultra soft breathable cotton, built for comfort and adventure. And best of all, proceeds from every purchase help support both our video production and Kate's creative work, keeping the spirit of art and adventure alive. So head on over to our new online shop and grab yourself some Inside Passage merch, link in the description below.
Good as it does in this area. We had a short window to be here comfortably, and I think we might have overstayed our welcome. So we need to get the hook up. Might be a little bit of a heroic battle to get out of this anchorage. Feeling about 25 to 30 knot gusts. Once we get out there, hopefully it'll be a bit more settled, but we'll definitely have a reef in or two on this sail this morning.
Well, we're going to be heading downwind today because the wind's coming from the northwest, so I'm just rigging up some preventer lines so that we can control the boom when we have to jibe downwind and help prevent any accidental jibes.
That was a big one.
That was a very big gust. It's very gusty, and we're kind of, I guess, now on a lee shore with the wind, so we'll try to just haul the hook out of the ground between gusts and get off as quickly as we can to get back out into deeper water.
Ground, just motoring at full speed ahead into the wind. How quickly things can change. Job.
We got it. It wasn't too bad. We're in nice and shallow.
It's good and windy here, folks. We're just going through the passage to get out of this anchorage, and for some reason the wind, maybe it's coming down from the mountains, it's just funneling through here. You can see the wind line on the water, and it's just got pretty spicy. The RPMs are cranked and we're barely pushing through it, so it's exciting.
Always a little hectic coming out of an anchorage. There was a bloody whale coming, well, he's just feeding in the kelp patch, so you're dodging the kelp, you're dodging all the rocks, trying to bash through the swell, and bloody hectic that is.
We think the wind is accelerating around the tip of the island from the open Pacific. It's sort of funneling around this corner, so it's really creating some chop and some swell. It's kind of fun, but definitely tossing us around. Over here, so definitely gotta come back and explore this some more. But yeah, it only gives you a little limited time frame because the wind really likes to hammer here.
Well, I reckon it's time to get some sail up and get the boat feeling a little bit more comfortable than this rodeo. We're out here now. It's less gusty, more consistent out here. The wind's coming from over there and we're gonna go that way, so should be a nice sail, I reckon, once we get out enough to put some sail up. Well, now that we are well and truly off Coronation Island, the sea floors drop back down to 300 feet, sea state's mellowed out, the winds come nice and consistent now, and we're just below a beam actually, scooting along doing 6 knots, straight for the pass. We're going to head through around the corner up here before turning south and heading down towards Prince of Wales and down towards Craig, and start putting on some good miles today. Really lovely sailing, probably, you know, somewhere between 15 knots of wind, I would say, gusting a little bit more than that. We got the first reef in, full head sail out, and we're just clipping along at 6.5 knots. It's absolutely beautiful today. Sun's cleared, gorgeous. Oh, Alaska in August.
At this point in our Alaska journey, we were really needing to make miles in the right direction. With just a few days left on James' US visa, the pressure was on, and some big days of sailing lay ahead.
We've been sweating it trying to get back to Prince Rupert in time before my visa expires, and we got about a week left, like 7 days to get 200 nautical miles back towards Prince of Wales Island, where it'll be much easier to get down to Prince Rupert. It's a nice protected archipelago on the west side of that island, so even if the weather does pick up, we should be able to still get far enough south to be able to jump back into Dixon Entrance and head down to Rupert.
After a nearly 2,000 nautical mile lap around Alaska, this was the final push back into Canadian waters. With weather in the forecast, we'd need to weave our way through the protected passages of the Alexander Archipelago before the final stretch across the open waters of Dixon Entrance back into Canada.
We've just come around the northeast edge of Coronation Island, and the sea state has completely disappeared, and we're now back onto beautiful, calm, flat, protected waters. It's pretty incredible because now it feels like we're lake sailors again. We're just clipping along at hull speed, wind's back on the beam, no waves bash through or run down, and we're just flying along. We're not quite sure where we're going to get to today, but the idea is that we're trying to get pretty well as far south as we can, as quickly as we can, so that we can get back to Prince Rupert before my visa expires. So we're going to try to aim to do another 25-30 miles, which should be pretty quick if we're doing, 6.5, 7 knots. There's lots of anchorages, a plethora of anchorages around here to go explore. The west coast of Prince of Wales Island looks absolutely incredible. There's so much protected wilderness area and coves and archipelagos to go explore. I think it's mental that the island has over 1,000 nautical miles of shoreline to explore just on the one island that's only 130 miles long. Crazy. So we're just going to sail until we get sick of sailing, until the wind dies, or we get too tired, or we feel like having a beer. What you making now?
I'm gonna make some wraps. We've got some ham still, which is a bit of a treat to have protein in the icebox this long. Ham keeps super, super long, so that's one of the reasons why we stock it. I'm gonna make like a ham veggie wrap, packed with lots of veggies. A nice handheld, something easy to eat.
That's such a good wrap. It looks to have corn, cabbage, pickles, red onion, ham, tomato, cheese, everything that you could want, conveniently packaged so that you can sail with one hand and feast with the other hand. Cheers, Al. This is legendary.
Change their minds. It's hard to be kind. You're accused out of thin air. Some people, them, and they won't know you. Become a fool, but sometimes just won't let you go. When the wind blows and it rains, and you don't know why it pains you so, and it won't stop for a while.
We're just arriving at Aquilla Bay here. A little rolly out here in the entrance, but there is one little anchorage tucked away in between all the islets and islands where you can go plant the hook. A little kind of gunk-holy anchorage with a few views out of it. You got to dodge some big rocks in some really tight channels to get in there. I don't think it'll be nearly as bad as West Arm, but the boulders are marked at being about 200 feet apart, and there's not much water in there, so it'll be a classic case of go slow. We're at high tide at the moment, so we should have plenty of water to navigate around everything. Always gives you a little bit of extra room doing it at high tide because the water is just that much higher. There's just more of it there. So yeah, excited to go get in there, plonk the hook, and sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of the spectacular sunshine.
Well, we made it through. That was pretty smooth sailing. Didn't really see anything that was too alarming. We are now in Naugatuck Cove, which is really protected from the westerly swell, the westerly winds. Really cute, cozy cove. Seems to be a lot of birds, sea otters. So we're gonna drop the hook here and enjoy this beautiful scenery.
That's a wrap on our Alaska series. What an incredible adventure it's been. One we won't soon forget. Don't worry though, this isn't goodbye forever. We're already dreaming up our next trip back. But for now, it's time to set sail south and cross that imaginary line back into Canadian waters. Next week's episode is jam-packed with sailing, and we have more great episodes coming up, so be sure to subscribe and stick around for those. If you enjoyed this series, let us know down in the comments. We love hearing from you. And hey, we're super excited to finally share our new Inside Passage swag with you. We put a lot of heart into these designs, and every purchase helps keep this channel afloat. Plus, a percentage goes to our talented friend Kate, who brought our ideas to life. You can find the link down below. Huge thanks, as always, to our patrons. You guys are absolute legends and make all of this possible. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time back in our home waters. Cheers!